a major milestone in the project to restore the George Washington Bridge.
After 7 long years for everyone that uses this bridge, the final suspension rope has now been replaced. And Nick Caloway got an up-close look at the progress on the GWB.
So watch your step.
Getting up close meant trekking out onto the bridge itself, climbing a steep and wobbly staircase along the main cables. Ken Tripaldi is senior engineer of construction for the George Washington Bridge.
The main cables are the backbone of the structure. The whole structure is hung from these.
Below those main cables are the suspender ropes. The vertical steel lines connect the main cables to the roadway decks below.
It has 6-wire twisted rope, 37 strands each, with a center core, just under 3 inches in diameter and weighs approximately 15 pounds per foot.
Work to replace all 592 of them started in 2018. We were there as the final one was hoisted into place, accompanied by an American flag. This is the first time in the bridge's 94-year life that the suspension ropes have been replaced. The hope is they won't have to be replaced again for another 100 years.
We've essentially rebuilt the bridge while not closing down traffic. And the whole point of that is to extend the bridge by another century, the life of it.
Andrew Frisvold is chief of construction for the Port Authority. He says replacing those steel ropes is the biggest chunk of the $2 billion Restoring the George program. The sidewalks are also being replaced and widened, and those large main cables were also rehabbed. As the final suspension rope was lifted into place, the Boisvert family watched from the New Jersey side with pride. Tyler Boisvert brought his son, Killian, to experience the milestone firsthand. Killian's grandfather is part of the crew that is preserving the George Washington Bridge for generations to come.
As an Irish immigrant and a construction worker coming over to the United States, I think it's a proud history, and I'd like to make sure that he understands it. I'd like to make sure that my daughter, who's less than 10 days old, understands it.
With the suspender ropes done, the Port Authority expects to finish up on the south sidewalk and open the path by next year. On the George Washington Bridge, Nick Caloway, CBS News, New York.
It's good to see the progress, but we got another year.
Takes a lot to keep New Yorkers moving.
It does.
Sure does.
A lot of
Sure
work.
does.